Yo, special greeting to you all. In case you are just joining, if you're seeing this video for the first time, this is the part two of what the part one says. I stopped the part one in the fourth step. So this is the part two. And in this part two, I have to complete the seventh step that makes you a great man. So it would be nice for you to go and watch the beginning of the third. All right. Go and watch the beginning of the video to capture the first step, second step, third step, and fourth step of a great man. This is just the second part of it, starting from the fifth, sixth, seventh. So there are seven steps of becoming a great man. So let's continue from the fifth step. The step five of becoming a great man is to embrace responsibility. And if you have listened to the first part of it from part one, step one, two, three, four, I talked about responsibility where people try to run away, especially in some part of the world, because they commit some certain things, especially in relationship. They don't want to give their full time to it. So they decide to run away. But embracing responsibility, great men do embrace responsibility. To be a great man, you must embrace responsibility. That means that you are taking responsibility for your actions, decisions, and the consequences is a hallmark for a great man. Okay, so taking that responsibility or the actions or decisions that you make, these are one of the consequences which makes a great man. Which makes a great man. Now, this includes accepting your mistakes, learning from them, and then making amends where necessary. As a great man, you don't need to dodge from or hide away from your responsibility like some kids could do. Now, embracing responsibility means that you are stepping up, in times of need and also contributing to your community and as well as being reliable in the presence of others. As we go into the other steps, you're going to look at the things you're going to do for your for your community rather. So please forgive me. My mouth has been doing a lot since evening, and I suppose I've been sleeping by now. But I'll try as much to make sure that I deliver this lecture very perfectly. So forgive every mistake that you see. Let's see. There are two ways to embrace responsibility. One of them is to take ownership of your action. Now, taking ownership of your action means embracing responsibility that start by owning your own decision and action. You don't let people to make decisions for you. You don't allow people to take actions for you. You embrace them. It's part of you. Now, whether they lead to success or failure. So whatever it is that you're doing must come from you. That is one of the great steps of becoming a great man. By accepting full responsibility, you demonstrate your accountability and maturity, which builds trust and credibility with others. Everybody wants to see you to be you. Everybody wants to believe in you. And the more people begin to believe in you, the more they begin to walk in your own way. That's when you begin to see that each time you come out, people can speak for you to say, of a truth, this man is great. Of a truth, let's believe in this man. Of a truth, this man is a man of his word, is a man of his action. He stands for himself and he takes good responsibility. But then some people are going to ask, how will you do this? How are you going to take this responsibility and how are you going to practice it? Now, quickly, let me tell you this. Now, to practice this, that means that when a mistake is made, acknowledge it first as a great man or somebody who is aspiring to become great in life. If any mistake is made by you, acknowledge that a mistake has been made. Okay, once you acknowledge it, now avoid excuses and shifting blames to people. You must try, be you by your word. You know you did it, so acknowledge that it's a mistake. Stop looking for a way to shift blame to people. Great men don't shift blame, children do. Great minds don't shift blame, children do. Great women don't shift blame, but little minds do. So you must be you. Reflect on what went wrong instead and learn from it and take proactive actions or steps in order to remedy it. If anything happens, be you. Take steps. Find a way at which you're going to them. It has happened. It has happened. So great man understands that this is important for me to take responsibilities and take steps towards remedying every wrong thing that has happened, maybe in the line of any action. Now, this approach shows that you are reliable and committed to personal growth. That's simply what that means. Now, another way at which you may embrace responsibility is to follow through a a commitment. Okay, you must follow through on commitments. Your commitment. I might not decide commitment for you, but you decide your own commitment. You know what your commitments are. You know what you have got yourself involved in, whether it is a social corporate responsibility, whether it is a community services, whether it is in the spiritual places, whether it is in education, whether it is in anywhere in the family, because maybe with your friend. Okay, you must follow through on commitment. This means that being responsible means reliable or showing through on your own commitment. All right, and then whether on your personal or professional life. Somebody is trying to say if my personal life is different from my professional life, I'm pretending. So you have to strike at a balance. On a good day, I will come on and discuss this issue to actually find out. Let's find out if our personal life and corporate life, or individual life and corporate life, should be different, or whether we should have a different life as corporate life and as a social or individual life. That could be a lecture for another day. But for now, just understand that to follow through on commitment means that you must be responsible by following through on your own commitment, whether they are personal or professional life. Now, keeping your promise and meeting your obligation on time to show that you can be depended upon. Don't make little promises as a student in high school or university. Make little promises and you abort them because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. So opportunity might come for you to present yourself, only for you to just to find out that look, those friends whom you played gamble on at the university, high school, are the ones who are actually your opposition and they know your weak point. So you don't give room to such. You must be dependable by when you speak your word, you make sure that you bring them to pass. I don't know, is anybody following me because I'm actually live. It's a live video that I have on the YouTube. Okay, so if you're there, please drop your comments. I want to see your comment. I want to see your comment. I want to see your comment. If you're there, I've opened the comment. So do drop your comment. I didn't open it initially, but it's now open. So whoever is here, good to have you as we discuss through to find out what makes great minds. So let's quickly follow up next. Now, step 6, practice humanity. Practice humility. Practice humility. That's step number 6 of a great man, or a step of becoming a great man. I'm already calling you a great man because if you can follow these steps, that means you're already in the domain of greatness. Step number 6, practice humility. Now, humility is a quality of being modest, respectful, and open to feedback. Now, that means that as a great man, you must acknowledge your strength without arrogance and self witness without shame. Hear that very clear. And you must understand that greatness is not about being better than others, but about continually striving to improve yourself. Now, practicing humility shows that you learn from others and stay grounded in your journey. You must learn how to humble yourself. And for most of us who come from the Christian background, we read scriptures that always say, humble thyself in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up higher and higher and up above. So there's always a reward for humility. But that does not mean you should plumb yourself to shame and get sold. No, know your honors and standard and work towards that. Now, somebody may ask, but I've tried. But let me help you quickly because there are two ways to which you can practice humility. One of the ways is that you must acknowledge your limitations and mistake. And another one is that you must give credit to others. Now, back to the A on which way to practice humility. Let's acknowledge our limitations and as well our mistakes. Now, humility involves recognizing that you did not have all the answers and that you can learn from others. Now, by admitting to your limitations and mistakes, you open up yourself to growth and demonstrate that you love to contribute towards others. So, to acknowledge your limitation means that you simply don't have everything that it takes, but you acknowledge that there are some areas at which you're good. And because you are good at that, you also acknowledge that another person could be good on his own side. I said either in step 2 or in step 3 that look, we shouldn't intimidate people by quality of the person we become, either by education or finances. And then when we are very rich and well made, we shouldn't just go out and get some people bamboozled and getting them intimidated because we are taller by height physically, or we are taller by finances, or by we are taller by intellectual capacity. No, we shouldn't do that because great men give room to a whole lot of things. That is why you must acknowledge your limitations and as well accept your mistake. So, not because you're big or because you're the manager and somebody makes a mistake, you want to use your position to get them intimidated. Now, what's the best way to which you can acknowledge your limitations and your mistakes? One is that when you make a mistake, own up to it without hesitation and in view that it's an opportunity for you to get other people intimidated, but rather opportunity for you to learn. So if a mistake is made, own it up. You made it, own it up, and learn from it. Because the more you learn from it, is the more you grow. So it is important that you must own up to your mistakes and also learn from them. Now, seek feedback from others. That's one thing great leaders do. And this is already the domain at where the great leaders are, because great leaders are already become great people on earth. So we no longer call them whether they are men or women. Now they become leaders. But I'm not talking about leadership here. I'm talking about personality. Step for you to become a great man. So you must be able to listen to people, give room to feedback. For those of us, once again, who have the background from the Bible side, the Lord Jesus get a time in his life when he said, what do people say I am and who do they think I am? So people were making some whole lot of guesses. Some say you are Jeremiah, some say you are Ezekiel, some say you are Daniel, some say you are this, and some say you are that. He said, but to you people, who do you think I am? And Peter couldn't just hold it to himself. He said, but thou art Christ, the son of the solid rock. And he said, to you, even the water and the flesh could not reveal this to you. Blood and flesh could not reveal this to you, rather, but only the Spirit of the Lord. And upon that, there was a mandate given. So we need to have room to give to people to speak to us. Nobody is an encyclopedia of knowledge. We don't know it all. Okay, but we are knowledgeable. We keep learning by the day. So give room for criticism and give room for feedback. Let people speak to you, and that will also guide you because you will quickly be able to know your limitations and walk through it. Now, even if they challenge your own views, okay, this attitude fosters respect and collaboration. People who can challenge you, don't be like somebody who believes he knows it all. I don't know if you know some stories, about somebody called Ahithophel, who believes that he was a wise person that always counseled a king one time in the scripture. And then because somebody gave a better opinion view and that person's own was adopted, he quickly went and committed suicide. No, no. Allow people to give their view and then walk through those views and then you harness them and get the best. Now, number 2 way that I said to which you can practice humility is to give credit to others. Now, humility is also about recognizing and appreciating the effort and contribution of others. Okay, instead of seeking recognition for yourself, focus on lifting others up and acknowledging their role in a shared success. Cultures differ. The Western culture and the African culture is not. Now we have collectivism and the individualistic culture. There are places where people believe that I, me, myself did it. Now there's also other people where they believe that we. That's why if you come to Africa, they ask you, how are you? How's your family? How's everybody? And we talk about we. Over there, they talk about him, she, he, the person that made it. Most movies that we have watched, sometimes group of soldiers will go to war and they fight. At the end of the day, the major, the captain, whoever that lead the war, the colonel, returns back and be promoted. And we never seen others being promoted, but the one that lead the war is always the one that is being promoted, and he takes the glory to himself. No, leaders don't do that. Great minds don't do that. And if you must grow, okay, to become a great personality, you don't do that. Acknowledge, or even if it's given to you, yes, you did it, but it's not you. We did it. It's the team. Only you couldn't have fought those people that came against you. Only you wouldn't have fought the enemy. Only you wouldn't have conquered and destroyed everything. You didn't fly the plane, okay? You didn't take the warship along with you. It was not you holding the RGB propeller. Maybe you just hold an AK-47, you were shooting, or you were giving command. So when it comes, acknowledge everybody. That gives everybody the sense, okay, that look, I love this man. And even if he becomes the president of a nation someday, he will still recognize our effort. So that is one thing about giving credit to others. And let me tell you another thing that you can also do. Now, when a team effort leads to success, highlight the contribution of others and give them the credit they deserve. Express gratitude regularly and sincerely, okay? Ensuring that those around you feel valued and respected. That's enough for you to be able to grab one of the two best ways that which you can practice humility. Humility brings you to a level where you begin to acknowledge the impact and the input of others to even your own success. A limited ability, one person cannot be that. All right. You have to have other people that are working in various departments. That's why it's a team. Respect your team. That's one of the great steps of great men, and it's called to practice humility. If you're not if you're not humble, rather, you might not be able to practice such. So learn to be humble and acknowledge those who are working with you. That's one of the great steps. Now, last and final of all the steps is step number 7. This step number 7 says serve others. It's almost like the step number 6, but at this point now you are serving. In step 6, you are almost like giving instruction, but the credit was given to all of you. Okay, at this point now you are serving. In the African philosophy, we believe that if you want to be a king, serve a king. Even from the scripture, for us who have read the scripture, we learn that King Saul was the king of Israel. All right. After a time, David became the king. And the little David served even in the house of Saul to the extent that he married his daughter. So if you want to be a king, serve a king. We have seen today, Joe Biden is the president of America. He was the vice under Obama. That's service. That's humility. He must have served as a vice, okay, to become the president of America. And to become the president, ceteris paribus. You see, there must be a service. Now, true greatness is measured by the positive impact that you have in others, whether through acts of kindness, mentoring, or contributing to your community, serving others in a powerful way to contribute lasting change. A great man recognizes that his success and fulfillment are intertwined with all well-being and those around him. So, by helping others, you will not only improve their lives, but also enrich your own life. That symbiotic reaction, mutual benefit. Left hand will wash the right will wash the left. Okay, just like the puppy playing. So we have a role to play within our community. There must be a way. Now, the next thing we have here, 2 important areas to which we could serve. This is where most people have problem. Somebody will say, I don't even know how to serve. Where will I serve? I don't even have, the skill to serve. Where will I begin to serve? So it has become a very huge problem to a lot of people in the community. But I'm just here to give you 2 great areas at which I think you can actually serve. Now, community engagement. This is very wonderful. Growing up those days, we used to call it Baba job. Today, we have come to learn in the best world business practices is called corporate social responsibility. When you make a whole lot of money, to whom do you return the money back to? You make your profit, you save the planet. One thing is left. You must bless the people. at least the people at which you made a success from, because they bought those things from you, they promoted your business. There's always a way for you to return back to those communities to say thank you. That is for those who are in the hierarchy of life. But what about those who are not at a high level? Maybe you are just a little boy in the house. Maybe you're still in high school, you're growing up. Maybe you've not even found your square root in life. You're trying to see how you can succeed. There's always an area you can serve. Now, listen, serving your local communities by addressing its need is a powerful way to make positive impact, whether it's through volunteering, supporting local initiative, or providing resources, community engagement, strengthen your social bond, and foster a sense of unity and belonging. There must be somewhere that you will serve. You can use the broom and sweep the street. That is service. You can buy stockings and boots and football for the little kids in your street that play football. You are supporting them. They will not forget in a hurry. It's like a cup of cold water. So it cannot be given in vain. There must always be a way they can return back to you to say thank you for the great things that you have done. Find a place at which you can serve. Now, what is the best way at which you can practice community engagement? Get involved in local charities. That's local charity. Even if it is ₦1 charity, and they say that it begins from home. Begins from home or at home. So you must learn how to be a giver at any little stage you have. Okay? Now, participate in community cleanups. I've said that. Sweep the street. You can. Okay, mentor the youths. You can just, hey, this thing you want to do is bad. Why are you going into it? Let's do something better. Instead of allowing the youths to fight themselves and you use the camera to cover them and put on social media, you can actually impact them positively, because in your own days when you were growing up, somebody was watching after you. Perhaps there was no social media by that time. So, okay, you must mentor the youth or support food bank. Donate food. God hates waste, they say, but you must learn how to use at least a little one you have from your reservoir to be able to give out. Identify areas where you are skilled and resource, and where your skills and resources can be most beneficial, and commit to making differences in your community. There must be somewhere. Maybe people's car always damaged because of bad road. Fill the pothole. Like a nation like Nigeria, where there are bad roads, in some state, fill the pothole, clean the street. If an electrician, mechanic, there must always be something you can do. I don't need to tell you. Check your community. All right. And then another area that you can serve is by emotional support. Now, this one now may not actually involve your physical strength or financial strength, but this could be your emotional support. Now, offering emotional support to those in need is crucial for fostering well-being and resilience. All right. By being there for others during difficult times, you can help them navigate challenges and feel valued and understood. And yesterday, somebody called me that one of my followers on Facebook actually got her account blocked. And I know that she was already passing through a lot of emotional issues because of her physical, challenges she had as a result of accidents she had years back, according to what she said. So I thought it of me and like, why should I even talk to this person? Does it really concern me? Live very far from me. I don't know you actually. I know you on social media. But on the second thought, I said no, that my call might boost this person's emotion and help her to stay connected. So quickly, I put a call. I said, how are you? Please, what happened? She told me. I said, okay, that doesn't matter. Create a new account and come on. I will tell the people that you are back and share your new account with you on my page. She did. And according to her, she came on. And then she followed us, all the meeting we had at the night before. She interacted with all of us. On the next morning, she used the old account to chat me up, informing me that they have brought her back. Now she can now actually talk. And I have to caution her and say, be very careful. Whatever happened before, don't let it happen again. So that little call that I put across was an emotional support that I gave to her at that moment. And she needed it to stay afloat. Otherwise, she would have gone to her private and begin to sob. And that sobbing could have led to depression. Now, imagine waking up with depression. That's a very, very huge challenge. Now, another thing here is that you must understand how to practice what I'm saying by being emotional supportive to people. Now, actively listen to others without judgment. People come up with their plights. People cry. There are some people that don't speak up, and there are a lot of people around me, they don't speak up when they are down. You see them, they begin to sob, they begin to cry, they begin to exchange by their narrative. So by such way, you listen to them actively to grab what you want without judging them at that moment. That could be a time of judgment. The best time to judge them is not when they are passing through their emotional tremor. Okay, so give them time, they will recover. Offer empathy and provide encouragement, whether it is friend, family member, or colleagues. Being a reliable source of emotional support can have a profound and lasting impact on someone's life. I bet you can't afford to miss this lecture. Now, like I said before, if you're just watching only this video, go back and watch the beginning of the seventh step where I have part one. Okay, I didn't know this one is two. Now that one I covered part one. I cover, sorry, step one, step two, step three, step four. And now let me quickly give you a rundown of what I have in the heading of all, in case you're just only watching from this clip. In step one, I say cultivate integrity. And in step two, I say pursue long life learning. That's personal development. In step three, I say develop emotional intelligence. I took my time to elaborate about emotional intelligence, and I bet you can't afford to miss it. So go and watch that video and also be able to understand. Then number four, I say foster strong relationship. Understand what strong relationship is and how to build it. And then in step five, I say embrace responsibility. That is one that you just watch now. Practice humility and serve others. These are the 7 steps to becoming a great man. And great men rule their world. Great men take sound decisions. So I appreciate your time for being here with me, for everything. So thank you so much. And then I'll see you in other videos that I'll be coming out with. That's the end for it. Thank you so much for watching.